as Ian says, from the Glasgow Tenants and Residents Network, which is a very new organisation. And as some of you will know, the tenants movement in Glasgow is not in very good shape. There's been a large amount of incorporation of tenants into housing association, committee boards, and there's been a process of privatisation that's been ongoing for a long time, since at least Thatcher's right to buy, but certainly through the stock transfer of all public housing to Housing Association, Glasgow Housing Association in 2003. So I guess the first thing I want to make clear is I think we're in a housing crisis. You know, I think that's a position that we take seriously. Everybody is paying too much rent in this real. I'm really sure about that. Everybody's rent is taking up far too much of a ratio of wages, if they have those wages. And anybody who's on welfare benefits is increasingly seeing those welfare benefits cut for housing. So I think that's the position we're in. I think the thing about housing that we find with Glasgow Tenants and Residents Network is everybody is housed. Everybody here has a home. It's a universal condition that we're all under at variegated degrees. So I think there's potential there. There always has been potential in housing campaigns to involve a lot of people and to share experiences across different sectors and different areas and different geographies and try and kind of build a stronger campaign. So yeah, I mean, I guess that was the reason that we started up the group, and we've been trying to kind of push it forward. One thing here, it's worth noting that the two countries that are hit hardest by the property bubble in Europe have been Spain and Ireland. And one thing that's really interesting about those two countries is neither of them have had a strong left-wing tradition, and neither of them have had a tradition of council housing. So there was no real barrier to massive amounts of private development in the housing sector in both Spain and Ireland. And I think the results of that have been really, really clear. Ireland now has 400,000 empty homes and ghost estates all across the country. The situation in Glasgow is the Glasgow Housing Association had 81,000 homes that we took over from the council housing sector in 2003. It's quite difficult to put a finger on the exact number because we've had secondary stage transfer to smaller housing associations. But looking at the Glasgow Housing Association website 2 or 3 years ago, they said they had 61,000 social homes still left on the housing association route. And we're talking about a demolition programme of 30,000 since transfer, which is ongoing. And we reckon that approximately there's about 60,000 social homes left in Glasgow. I mean, I don't have the facts for that. So you're talking about since 2003, maybe Nicholas, since 2003 you're talking about a quarter of social housing stock being decimated. And that's largely been replaced with, high-rise blocks come down, low-rise goes down, but when it's rebuilt, it's built part private, part public. So there's a privatisation process that's going on. It's actually quite discreet in a sense. I think I'll just cut to quick actually and say what we're going to do. So, as I said, we hope our blog website will be the go-to site in Glasgow for all those interested in tenants and residents issues from an independent and critical perspective. We want to be proactive in developing grassroots struggles in our housing and space. We're going to produce informative, investigative research, and we think that's really important because the kind of research that we're talking about isn't being done. Nobody's funding it, so it needs to be independent. We want to rescue Glasgow's hidden radical history by republishing stories and articles about Glasgow's housing struggles from the past. And we're going to host a whole series of public events and meetings that agitate for better housing conditions. So there's a housing film on at Kinning Park Complex, the successful Edinburgh Against Stock Transfer campaign against housing privatisation on April the 10th, and everybody's welcome. Come on. We don't